Yeah, step up, lean in. Big dreams on the screen again. From the block to the band to the big stage playing. We talk wins, talk grind, talk yes you can. Hey! Welcome to A Better Chance TV. We speak into the future on your screen. With your host Monique Robinson, you see. We talk life, talk hustle, talk dreams. Hey! We talk life, talk hustle, talk dreams.
Suit jacket, kicks on her feet. Monique in the chair, whole crew on beat. Spotlight bright on the next big name. HBCU bound, writing out they own lane. Scholarship stack, new doors swing wide. From late night study to that tassel high. Entrepreneurs, scholars, whole fam tuned in. Every story here start where you stand.
Welcome to A Better Chance TV. We speak into the future on your screen. With your host Monique Robinson, you see. We talk life, talk.
Welcome, guys. It is our favorite time of the year. And yes, you'll be seeing a lot of me. Now, it is our favorite time of the year. It is time for the Takeisha A Davis annual competition. So this competition, it goes from June to September, and you will see some of the most amazing scholars share their essays, their expertise, their reasoning on why they want to attend one of our nation's historically Black colleges and universities. Now, today we have a special guest, but before she comes on, I have to do some announcements. I know. Now, coming up really soon in the San Antonio area, we have our annual HBCU summer send-off celebration. Now, if you are a scholar who completed the information to be registered, congratulations. Each scholar will get a chance to highlight their table, and you will be receiving emails soon. So please make sure you are checking your emails daily. Now, the summer send-off, we are accepting vendors, we are accepting alum, but most importantly, we need your help with getting some of those college essentials. And if you follow our page and get our newsletter, you will see that information. All right, now we're back. Now, this is our fourth or fifth year. I can't really remember, which is kind of sad, of our annual contest. Now, some of our contest winners, like special shout out to Kaylin Cherry. She graduated from the Central State University this year, and she was one of our recipients. I believe she won. And then also, our kids are just doing some amazing things. So congratulations to everyone who have graduated, done big things, changed job, got those internships. But after this commercial, we will definitely be with our first essay reader for the year.
Are you interested in attending an historically Black college or university? Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm president and founder of the Common Black College application. Our application allows students to apply to over 50 historically Black colleges and universities at the same time for only $20. HBCU graduates have been some of the most renowned individuals in their respective fields since the late 1800s. In addition to that, our faculty and staff are truly committed to your success, and they have a vested interest in seeing that you do well. That, coupled with the academic rigor and the fact that you will establish lifelong relationships, are just some of the many benefits of your attending an historically Black college or university. So if you're interested in completing the Common Black College app, visit our website at commonblackcollegeapp.com to apply now. Thank you, and get educated.
Yes, get that application in. It is open, and some of our colleges do have that early admin, like some of the most, ones that are very hard to get into. So if you're looking, and please like, share, comment, most important, support our scholars. Leave them a nice note in the chat, or just tell them, hey, I've been in your shoes. You got this. Now, if you are watching, we do have our QR code. We do accept donations via Giveify, or scan that QR code and it will direct you to how you can support us, because yes, we need it. Now, I am going to invite our guest on the show. So let's see how she's doing. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I can't complain. It's, hot in Texas. So where are you?
I'm in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois.
Yay. Well, a little cooler than here. Kind of wish I was there. Like, I love Garrett's popcorn. I know that. I know. I
It's
need to
pretty
focus.
good.
I love Garrett's. And then I like some of the pizza, but I'm a focus. You like, lady, I'm on here to read my essay. You talking
No, I
about
love
food.
it. I love it.
I'm a foodie. I can't help it. So, where are you going in the fall?
I'll be attending the Tuskegee University. Go to Tigers.
Come true. And she even knows the slogan already. Are you ready to ball and parlay or not
Of
yet?
course. Of course.
See, I might have to come down there and go to a game because I've been wanting to do that's like my favorite HBCU chant.
It is
But
really good. It's
it
so
goes,
catchy. I love every time I hear it.
yeah,
It's so good.
I love it. Are you going to be in any auxiliary or anything?
I'll probably be on the cheer team. That's about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
so
play
you
in the
really
band,
get, yay, you
but I'll
really
be
get
on
to
the
rock.
sideline.
Okay, then. So that means you get to really do the dance to
Hmm.
okay. Well, congratulations early.
Thank
So
you.
are you like ready? Or are you still like, no, I don't want to leave mom yet?
I'm a little bit in the middle. I'm really excited because I love Tuskegee, but I'm gonna miss home. Like I love Chicago too, but I'm ready.
Well, I mean, at least the food is good at Tuskegee.
Yeah, I have heard that.
So, how did you hear about the contest? I always like to ask people that.
So I had a scholarship mentor, and she would send me a list of scholarships, and I would go through seeing like if I met the requirements or which ones would be good to me. And I came across this one. I'm like, oh, I have to apply. So thankfully, I moved on.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, you made it to the second round, so you're in the essay round.
Yay!
And I actually like this round because it lets me get to talk to our scholars. I'm not a judge. They don't allow me to judge because they just figure if it was up to me, everybody would win. And it happens. I can't help it. I'm a Care Bear. But so are you ready to read your essay?
Yes, I am.
All right. The floor is all yours.
Okay. I remember sitting in spaces where people spoke about their futures with hesitation, as if certain paths were already out of reach, not because they lacked ability, but because somewhere along the way, they were made to believe that those opportunities were not meant for them. Hearing that stayed with me. It made me realize how easily doubt can be passed down, just like struggle and limitation. In my own life, I saw what it looked like to work hard and still feel like you were trying to catch up. My mom carried everything on her own, making sure we were supported, even when it meant stretching herself thin. There were moments where stability felt uncertain, when it was clear that effort did not always guarantee ease. That reality shaped how I understood success. It was never just about reaching a goal, but about creating something more secure than what already existed. Instead of accepting those limits, I began to challenge them in the ways that I could. Through Medical Club, I worked to create a space where students felt capable of pursuing careers they once doubted. I remember one girl who was ready to change her path because she felt like she did not belong in the medical field. Our conversation was not about convincing her that she was capable, it was about helping her see that she already was. Moments like that showed me that breaking cycles is not always a visible act. Sometimes it is as simple as refusing to let doubt define what comes next. That same mindset drives my decision to pursue physical therapy. I have seen how inconsistent access to care can shape someone's quality of life, how recovery can feel out of reach depending on circumstance. I do not want to be a part of a system that only works for some. I want to be someone who bridges that gap, providing care that is not only effective but accessible and understanding. Education is what allows me to do that because I believe it can transform intention into impact. When I stepped on the campus of Tuskegee University, I felt something I had never felt before. There was a sense of belonging that did not need to be questioned. Students carried themselves with purpose, and professors were invested far beyond the classroom. The environment felt rooted in a shared understanding of growth and excellence. For the first time, I was not thinking about whether I would fit into a space. I felt aligned with it. Tuskegee showed me that I would not just be earning a degree, but growing in a community that is committed to seeing me succeed. Breaking generational cycles through education, for me, means shifting what is considered possible. It means that the sacrifices I have witnessed are not repeated in the same way. It means my younger brother will grow up seeing a future that feels attainable, not distant. It means the students I mentor will recognize themselves in spaces they once questioned. This is not just about where I'll end up. It is about what changes because I got there and who gets to see that it is possible next. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. So you guys heard a wonderful essay written by our lovely guest. Now, we might have another guest coming on later, but one of the questions that, as I was listening to your essay, which was wonderful, by the way,
Thank you.
What made you like, you didn't want to think of any other field? So it's just strictly medical?
Okay, I really like this question. So, from a young age, I've always been a STEM girl. I thought I liked reading and I liked stuff like that until I started getting my test back and I realized I was doing much better in science and math. I remember I won the science fair 2 years in a row in elementary school. Thank you. When I got to my high school, I ended up doing this program where I took the 2 highest science classes, which was AP Biology and AP Chemistry. And though it was hard, I think by then I really realized, okay, this is something I want to do. And I've always had a passion for helping others, whether that's through mentoring, through tumbling, and being a coach to younger kids. I've always had a passion for helping others. And then I've always had a passion for science. So after participating in different programs with healthcare fields and learning new knowledge and being able to be really hands-on and have that exposure, I'm like, okay, health science, that's my major. And that's what I know that I want to do, because even if I don't become a doctor of physical therapy, I know I want to do something that's in the medical field, that's sciencey, and that has to do with helping others.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, so
Thank
you
you.
pretty much had your track since you were younger. You're like,
Yeah.
that's it. That's all. This is what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Well, that is simply marvelous.
Thank you.
And then you said you won the science fair. Now, I have an education background, so I just have to ask, what was that prize-winning science project?
The only prize that I got for winning the science fair was a gift card to Pizza Hut, but it's okay because I had a lot of fun. The first time I won, I was using bubble gum and saying which bubble gum would blow the biggest bubble. And the second time I won, I was saying which hot chocolate brand would stay hot for the longest.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have me with the hot chocolate brand, but I don't want to get in trouble with somebody thinking we're trying to market their product. Hey, I might have to ask you about that offline. Like,
okay.
That seemed like that was a good project.
Yes, it was really fun.
I do have one more question,
Okay.
and I ask everybody this every year. It's just one of the questions that's always in the rotation. When you get to the Tuskegee University, how do you plan? I mean, with all the things going on in the world, how do you plan to leave your mark?
Okay, that is a really good question. Thank you. How I plan to leave my mark is by joining first a lot of programs, and not just like stacking programs to stack my resume, but I definitely know I want to be a part of SGA, which is their student government. And I also want to create a program that's similar to the program I created at my high school, which is a medical club, because I feel like there's not enough programs that are actually encouraging people to be in the medical field. Like, we can look at the statistics and see the number of Black doctors, especially Black female doctors. It's very low. And I feel like that's a problem a lot of the times because people aren't getting the right resources, or a lot of people are discouraged. So I feel like if people have the resources and they have the support, it'll allow so much success and so many things to thrive, because I feel like so much can change but just by feeling like somebody has a little bit of support or having someone to help them and guide them along the way. And with the proper guidance, I know that I will leave my mark at the Tuskegee University.
Well, that is simply awesome. I cannot wait to hear, and I do check on you. Now, some of our scholars, they don't realize it, but I do my checks periodically, and periodically I call. Like this week, one of our scholars from last year, I called her, and I think it probably scared her because I was like, "Hey, how was school this year?" Because I care. You know, that's a big step to go away from school, and you know, Tuskegee is a long way from the Windy City.
It is. It is.
But hey, you know, you got FaceTime, you got telephone, so you can make it work. And I, you know, look to hear great things, and thank you for sharing your essay. And I wish you much success as you go through this long process with us. But we only make it that way because we don't have any like basic requirements. We just want to see, you know, how bad do you want it type of thing. So
thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. So guys, you have, you know, she left her mark. I don't know, these young people every year, they seem to amaze me. So stay tuned as we go through this process, and you will hear all of our people who have made it to round 2. But most importantly, show them some love by voting. I think I put in the chat, or will be putting in the newsletter, definitely, who's ahead this week. And I don't know, like I just pulled the numbers. That's all I know. I'm not a judge, thank God, because it was a lot. But thank you, and I look forward to seeing more of you as the rounds go by.
Thank you so much.
Celebrate the excellence of HBCUs with the HBCU Trivia Game. This board game provides an exciting and educational way to learn about notable alumni, historical events, sports news, and more. This trivia game is sure to be a hit and perfect for college-bound youth, alumni, and the entire family. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support, educate, and entertain Get the HBCU Trivia Game today. Go to hbcutriviagame.net to order.
Welcome back. See, I told y'all, I you know, it's scholarship season, and I have 2 guests here today. I have Miss Vivian, who is all the way from Kansas City, and then I also have Alexandria. Now I might get this wrong. I think she's from Chicago, but I might be all the way wrong. Alexandria, where are you from?
I'm from California.
Oh Lord, I was all the way off. I knew it was a C. I get an E for effort. I said C.
Yes.
All right. So welcome you both, ladies. Thank you for coming. Now, before I let you get your essay reading started, because you know, congratulations on making it to round 2. Why at HBCU though?
Would you like me to go first?
Either one. You could go anywhere in the world, but why at HBCU?
Okay, so a little bit of background on me. My mother actually attended an HBCU, and you know, growing up, she always told me how going to an historically Black college really changed her life. It was one of the best decisions that she made, and that inspired me to also pursue a similar dream. So growing up, I'll say around elementary school, this was my dream. I knew I wanted to attend an HBCU. And I just remember teachers asking me, you know, what's your dream college? And I would hear my classmates, they would say Harvard or Yale or Columbia, or because I'm from California, like UCLA or UC Berkeley. But none of those like really resonated with what I've been taught and what I know about historically Black colleges. So I will always say like Howard. And I remember a lot of my classmates and teachers would not know what historically Black college and universities were. So a lot of the time I'll have to educate, and that just grew my love for knowing I wanted to attend the HBCU, because I got the chance to share with my community what it was like for me to, number one, hear about it and to plan for the future to go there. So when I was in around 11th grade, I was a part of a nonprofit called College Bound, and we took a HBCU tour. And the first school on our list was Howard University. And I just remember the culture shock, like the absolute culture shock that I saw there. The community, people that look like me, Black women and men alike. And I remember talking with our tour guides, some of them wanted to become a part of government or like political activists or doctors. And I just remember like, wow, everybody on this campus is like that. And as I look around, I felt an urge of love, I guess you can say. I immediately felt it. And I knew at that very moment that I wanted to attend Howard University. So that was a little bit of my drive for wanting to attend a historically Black college.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. So Vivian, what about you?
I understood the question, even though I can't hear you. But the reason I wanted to attend an HBCU, my journey was a little bit different. If I'm being so transparent, an HBCU was not on my radar whatsoever. I attend a predominantly white institution, and the first time that I even considered going to an HBCU was because of my counselor in school. And a lot of times I would go to her because she's one of very few Black administrators at my school, and just someone I saw solace in and advice from. And I would just come to her a lot of times just frustrated with how things were going, just how that I felt like I was being mistreated. And she advised me, you should go to an HBCU. And she told me this thing that really stuck with me. She told me that you have your whole life to be a minority. And that just really stuck in my head. And I was like, if I could, just for 4 years of my life, just feel like I really belong somewhere, then that would just make me as a person just feel immensely better in just every situation. And so that was really my drive for seeking and choosing an HBCU in general.
Awesome. Now, I missed it, or I didn't quite catch it. Now, what are the schools that you guys are going to in a couple weeks, like in the fall? Where you headed?
I'm actually attending Howard University in the fall.
Now, I know that's a house divided because you said your mom graduated from here.
Yeah, I had to show her who the real HU was. So
okay, yeah. See, you gotta remember that at Christmas you're gonna miss out on some stuff. Vivian, where are you attending?
And I'll be attending North Carolina A&T.
Okay, Aggie Pride. See, y'all paths might cross.
Oh yeah, literally.
Just saying. So, if you're watching, we are on round 2 of the Takeisha A. Davis Scholarship. I am about to exit the screen because these ladies want to share their lovely essays with you all, and they will have a dialogue. So I believe Vivian will read, they'll dialogue, then Alexandria will read hers, and they'll dialogue, and then I will return after that. The floor is all yours, ladies.
Yes.
I'm gonna just say yes. I still can't hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
Vivian, it's on you.
Vivian, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I can just begin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. An Afrobeat is my version of old school R&B. When old school mixes with new school, it can sound amazing. I would call myself a bit of a remix, if you will, a mix of both Nigerian and Black American culture, each with their own individual sound, history, and rhythm. However, when new music comes about, there's always a generational shift, a divide so deep that we don't even hear the music anymore, just the voices of those who don't want to listen. I grew up in a culture of what you know about this. Quite frankly, I know a lot and yet very little. I grew up on Nigerian culture, attending Nigerian celebrations, eating Nigerian food, and listening to Nigerian music. I lived in a little bubble of Nigeria within America. But there's one thing that separates America from every other country. Everyone that comes to America is American. Moreover, stepping into Black America is a whole different track all on its own. Black America and African culture has never seen eye to eye, or at least for as long as that I've been alive. Ultimately, there's a feeling of betrayal that lingers on both sides. From an African standpoint, It is a rejection of a culture that was meant to celebrate revival, but was perceived as mockery. While Black America perceived culture as an arrogant accusation and an elitist projection, which I would consider to be misconceptions on both parts. However, putting out a fire that has been blazing for over a century is no easy feat. I quickly learned that I didn't know enough about Black issues as my peers, and maybe I didn't care enough. But when you live in Black America, it's a little startling to look around and wonder how you got there. Therefore, I immersed myself in Black culture. I became somewhat of a radical, if you will. I rode the sound waves of the soul. But the problem was I forgot to look back. Nigeria became a country I could only recognize in name. Then came the reverse of constantly finding and losing, and I had to stop. Nonyelum Vivian Shira. Imara Oniibu. Do you know who you are? You are a remix of two cultures combined. You don't have to toe the line, but you do need to educate yourself. Not for the sake of belonging, but for the sake of understanding not only yourself, but all those around you. I grew up with people on both sides who were unwilling to learn and change, people that were so stuck in their ways that they never grew. I refuse to continue that cycle. I refuse to remain stagnant. Identity isn't fixed. It is continuously growing, changing, and evolving. So take that information with you to every person you encounter. There is always more to know. A person is never known because a person is never stagnant, much like the creation of music. Thank you.
Beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I do have a couple of follow-up questions for you.
Yes.
So I know you answered like a little bit of this in your essay, but how did you find your like own personal identity with being both Nigerian and Black?
I think what really helped me find my own identity was realizing that I didn't have to choose. I feel as a lot of times as humans, we try to box ourselves into a certain category or a certain demographic, or we are one type of person. But in all actuality, we are made up of so many facets of human life, and no one is making us choose. And we should stop having such a limiting mindset in that regard. So that's what really helped me find my own identity.
Right. I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So my second question for you is, how did you find your favorite sound, like with music? I know like it could be like a mixture, but like how did you come to that like realization, I guess is the question.
I think, Nigerian music was just always something I heard. It's just like always been just what reminded me of my childhood and made me feel at home. And then obviously like I live in America, so obviously I hear a bunch of music, and I just think just in general music is just so cool, and all types of music I really enjoy a lot, and I think you can enjoy as much as you want and experience all parts.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. One of my third question is, I mean, it's kind of like similar, but like you mentioned that you went to a predominantly white institution, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you find I guess with you wanting to fit in and like listen to their music versus you being like, no, like I want to share like a little bit of my music with you guys, you know? And also like, did that ever make you feel, I guess, like left out or like not seen as much because maybe like they would listen to, you know, like a different type of music than you. So like, how did that make you feel, I guess?
Yeah, I feel, especially when I was younger, just not being able to relate to your peers was kind of an isolating experience. But as I grew up, I learned that individuality is one of the most amazing gifts you could have as a person, and being able to stand out and stand on your own. And just having something that differs you from everyone else can be so impactful. So yes, at times, like I did wish I understood more, knew what they were talking about, but then I also realized the value in me having my own thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I also heard you mention something about being stagnant, like not being stagnant in your identity.
Yes.
So how did you like continue to push forward in finding who you are? Like, what was that process like for you?
Again, I think it was just finding people that understood me and then just being willing to grow. Growth can be a really scary thing. Change can be a really scary thing. But like I said before, humans are continuously evolving. We're continuously changing, growing, and learning. And being able to embrace that, I think is just one thing that's just so helpful.
Absolutely. That is beautiful. That is unfortunately all my questions I have for you. But that was a beautiful essay. Like across the board. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that part, like about your background and like your history with me. It was beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so you mind if I share my essay too?
Yes, please do.
Okay, for sure. Okay, so health and safety are things that many people take for granted, but one experience shaped who I am and how I respond when life shifts unexpectedly. When I was 10 years old, I watched my father struggle to stay afloat in the water. Seeing him grasp for air and call for help terrified me. I felt frozen and helpless. I did not yet realize that this moment would become the beginning of my resilience. A year later, when I was 11, my father was rushed to the hospital and coded twice. 6 months after that, everything changed. My mother had to quickly prepare for a move to Chicago so my father could receive a heart transplant. I helped her shut down our home, pack our belongings, and prepare for uncertainty while she focused on his health. My younger sister and I were first sent to North Carolina to stay with my family until my mother could care for us again. Even though we were surrounded by relatives, everything felt unfamiliar. I was navigating online school during COVID while living with constant uncertainty about my father's survival. And at 11 years old, I felt responsible for helping to take care of my younger sister, trying to make her feel safe even when I was scared myself. Childhood shifted into responsibility almost overnight. Eventually, we relocated to Chicago to support my father's recovery. Adjusting to a new city and new reality while also grieving the recent loss of my grandfather was so overwhelming. Those experiences began to shape me in ways I did not fully understand at the time. Some might say I became quieter and more reserved. I would say I became more observant. Trauma and uncertainty forces a person to confront a fork in the road. There is no going straight. You either allow your circumstances to define you or decide how you will respond. There was no returning to the life I once knew. I had to adapt. I learned how to lead within my family, often quietly. I learned how to steady myself, even when everything felt unstable. I learned how to move forward, even when the finish line shifted without warning. I became tired of being afraid and made a conscious decision that fear would not define me. At 15, I challenged myself in a way that was different from anything in my circle. I earned my NAUI scuba diving certification. This was more than a personal achievement. Diving required me to understand oxygen levels, pressure changes, and how the body reacts under stress. For the first time, I connected my real-life experiences to biology. I became curious about how oxygen deprivation affects the brain and how the heart sustains life under pressure. Biology stopped just being a class. It became the foundation of my dream to become a cardiologist. Now, as I aspire to attend Howard University as a biology major, I understand that a rising HBCU scholar means more than earning strong grades. Historically Black colleges and universities were built on resilience. In the 21st century, their mission remains essential. Health disparities continue to affect underserved communities, and representation in medicine still matters. As a future cardiologist, I want to serve families who face fear and uncertainty in medical spaces, just as mine once did. Earning my degree will not only impact my life, it will allow me to advocate for heart health awareness, promote water safety education, and mentor young students who may not yet see a clear path forward. My education will give me a position to give back to my community and uplift others. The finish line in my life has shifted more than once, but each time I have chosen growth over fear and purpose over doubt. As an HBCU scholar, I continue to rise, not only for myself, but for my family, my community, and the generations that follow. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you so much for sharing about that time in your life. That was so impactful. And just what a well-written essay.
Thank you.
I do have questions for you though. You talked about having to grow up quickly and having a younger sibling as well,
Yeah.
navigating through that time in your life. Um, did you ever feel forced to mature quickly? And
Oh.
if so, how did that simply just change you as a person and how you view childhood as well as adulthood?
So to answer that first question, yeah, I definitely felt like I had to mature quickly. During COVID, I was responsible for getting my sister up in the morning, for getting her dressed, for her Zoom calls for school, helping her with her homework. Like I felt like the mom, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I had never had to do that before in my life. My mother was always there, fortunately for me. But when she had to take care of my father, I had to, as the oldest, it was my responsibility to make sure that she was okay. Yeah, I lived with my aunts and uncles and my cousins, but they were caught up in like their own world and I wasn't really that close to them.
Yeah.
So having to take care of my sister gave me like a whole new meaning of what it's like to grow up, a whole new meaning of what it's like to mature, right? I had to do that very fast.
Yeah.
And I guess like my view on adulthood would be that it's not going to be easy, but I've built a foundation for myself, right? I have persevered. I have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. So for me to be able to succeed, it's perseverance. It's remembering why I started and I guess who's encouraging me at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Remembering my past so I can see the future.
Yeah. And then also you discussed about how you got your scuba license and how that was very important for you after seeing that event with your father. I want to ask, how do you think information helps you as well as others manage fear?
How does information help me manage fear?
Yeah.
I guess knowing I actually like before I did my scuba, earned my scuba diving certificate, I actually looked up like statistics and it was like, don't quote me on this, but like, I believe it was about like 64% of African Americans don't know how to swim. Yeah. And like I mentioned in my essay, like that experience of watching my father drown and like the uncertainty at the time, because I was little, I couldn't help him, right? Yeah. The adult had to come help him. I just was sitting there looking helpless, and that immediately strikes fear within me, right?
Yeah.
But seeing the information on it, seeing my father, it didn't make me scared. Mm-hmm. It made me want to try, if that makes any sense. It made me like push forward. Like even though the fear is still there, I still chose to move forward, right? Yeah. And earning that certificate at 15, like, and I was in a class full of adults, right? It was monumental. Yeah, literally, like it was so monumental. Yeah. Like when they gave me my certificate, I felt like the biggest person like in the world. I was like, I did this by myself, right? I overcame my fear of the water. And that was like my way of showing others like, hey, it's possible. Don't let your fears define you. Like just keep persevering. Like you'll do okay, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are all my questions. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Those are really good questions, by the way. Thank you.
Awesome ladies. Wonderful essays that you both presented today. And I do have one question for both of you before we get out of here. Why should our audience vote for you?
Good.
Would you like to go first or me?
Oh, I can go. Okay. So I would say, like, especially throughout my high school career, a lot of people have undermined me, right? A lot of people said I wasn't going to get into Howard, you know, despite my good grades, despite my good letters of recommendation. I had like a lot of people hating on me at the time, right? But again, just like with all the things that I talked about in my essay, me being able to overcome, me being able to persevere, like severely, I think that's what sets me apart completely. My perseverance, my willingness to not give up, even when times get hard, like I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know exactly what my goal is, and I will do absolutely anything to obtain it. And a little bit of like background on me. I mean, I guess I kind of like already shared it about like how people just completely undermined me, but I didn't pay attention to that, right? I still saw my future. I knew exactly where I was gonna go. I knew exactly what I was gonna do, and I'm still the exact same way, present day, about to go to the school of my dreams, essentially. So I think that my willingness to persevere and see it through, even when it's tough, I think that's what sets me apart from the other contestants.
Okay.
Okay. Why I think people should vote for me is simply because I believe that I do stand out from my point of view and my perspective due to the fact that I do come from an immigrant background. Um, and being Black American while being part of an immigrant family is definitely a topic that is not often discussed, oftentimes because what happens instead of leaning into that background or history, a lot of Black Americans who come from immigrant backgrounds just assimilate. Therefore, I believe that I speak from a different perspective of someone who is, yes, willing to branch out into this new community of people while still carrying my cultural roots. Therefore, I just think I'm just someone who is an individual who just stands out from the crowd. And I hope people will recognize that and vote for me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you guys are definitely going to be a tough act to follow. As people know who watch us every year, this contest goes from June to September, and I wish you both much success as we go through the weeks. We won't have cuts anytime soon, but if you are interested in voting for these lovely ladies, the information is in the newsletter. So, congratulations to you both on making it to the next round. And hey, I'm proud of you both, and look
Thank you.
forward to coaching you all through this whole process. And also keep us updated when you get on campus. Send us some pictures so we know that you are actually there. So, as we come to a close for a Better Chance Television today, please don't forget that we do have our send off coming up. And if you need that information, it is in the newsletter. So, it's been fun, but we definitely have to run. You met our first 3 contestants today, and we have like 60 of them. But I don't know, guys. It's tough. These ladies set the bar kind of high today. So whoever had to follow, you definitely have to bring it. So thank you for watching. Thank you, ladies, for persevering through your different obstacles. I really enjoyed the essay, but I'm not a judge. They don't let me know.
Okay,
So
thank
until
you.
next time. Thank you. Thank you.